Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Neil and Jan Resellers.
We went to some boot sales, and there's a little story behind that. If you haven't seen the film where we were actually at the field yesterday,
Or the explanation he's just edited out, then I'll get over it again.
the dogs were having a squabble, so I've started again.
Right, so what happened is we couldn't decide which boot sale to go to because Neil prefers the shoreham flyover,
Yeah.
which is bigger, and he feels there are more ordinary people there, whereas the Sayers Common, you feel that there's more resellers.
This year.
Not
there were
resellers,
last
but
year.
traders there.
Yeah, last year there was definitely more people that were coming for one-offs just to get rid of their stuff. So.
And I think last week there were a lot of those because
It was the first one, wasn't it?
There were a lot of things I was seeing last week that didn't appear this week. But I think last week the whole thing was completely oversubscribed. The sellers were actually set up where the parking was. I think they must have run out of parking completely at some point. Because anyway, yesterday couldn't decide which one to go to. Like I say, I prefer Sayers Common because it's flatter, so it's easier for me to walk around. So we flipped a coin. Sayers Common won, so we head for Sayers Common, and when Sayers Common and Poynings are run by the same people and they alternate between the sites.
Yeah.
And we get to Sayers Common because we didn't know this. We would have known had we gone to Sayers Common last week that this week it was at Poynings. But,
yes.
But we were at Shoreham last week.
So we didn't
anyway,
know. Yeah.
We end up at Sayers Common. It's at Poynings, so we just said, "Oh, blow it! We'll just go on to Shoreham," and went down to Shoreham,
which is cool.
Again, queuing started on the roundabout to get into the road to get on the field, so it was a bit. I think I read somewhere that they're going to start letting sellers in at 6 or 6:30 to try and alleviate the traffic.
Yeah, that would be good.
Which are obviously happening on the roundabout, but that then just pushes the whole thing back. So you're going out in the middle of the night again. But anyway, we get in there expecting it to be as big as last week.
And it wasn't.
Fortunately, wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't kind of go into the car park field this time, did it?
No. But then on our route home, we happened to go past.
We have to go past the Poynings boot sale on the way home. Well, you can't.
There's one that it's still on. You have to go in, don't you?
Even before we started doing this to try and make any money, there was no way we would ever just drive past the boot sale.
Boot sale, we're going to go in.
I mean, we used to go on holidays and spend them all at boot sales because it's just what we do.
Yeah, I love a boot sale, really do.
So anyway, we ended up first of all at Shoreham Flyover.
Yeah. So
the only boot sale run by Tigers.
Yes. I actually don't remember what I got in what order or from what boot sale, really. I don't think. But anyway, let's start with a couple of bits. One of the bits that I picked up. Can't remember where they're from, but I do remember I paid £4 for them. Well, I think I did. We checked back on the other film. Maybe it was £5. No, I think it was £4. So some nice rollerblades there. K2s. I've not heard of K2, I don't think.
Except we've got a leisure centre.
So we've got a K2. Yeah, I mean,
and mountains called K2.
Obviously, yeah. But they're okay. I mean, they need a damn good clean, to be honest. They're in a condition that needs a clean. Apparently, they've been in the guy's shed for ages. But they do feel substantial enough that they feel well made. They don't feel like a bad kind of plastic. They feel quite substantial. They are a UK size 7.5. But yeah, that was okay. That was a good little first pickup. Now I know Jan has got way less than me, so I'm going to rattle through a couple
Always
more.
do.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to rattle through a couple more, just to get the big ones out of the way, kind of thing. So I also picked up. Oh, clunk! I got the guy was asking £10 for this. This is a
monster of a thing.
Monster of a thing. This is a monster of a thing. It is a Sherwood amplifier. It's a surround sound amplifier designed for
surrounding you with sound.
Surrounding you with sound. Very loud.
I'm just guessing that.
No, it's right. It is a model.
I mean, if it does what it says on the tin.
It's a model ES 4060R.
But as it says surround sound, shouldn't that have speakers and things that go with it, or can you set up your own?
This would be designed for having separate units. So you would buy this as a separate unit. You would then pick your speakers to go with it.
Like in the old days when you had a whole stack of different things.
Well, I remember going with my good friend Alex. I think it was a Sherwood. He actually ended up getting from Richer Sounds down in Brighton, and you would literally, it was a shop that did separates, and you would add the different separates to make the system, and they actually had a room where you would they actually set it all up for you so you could hear and get the experience of the unit you're actually buying. But this one has I've
been in that very shop.
This is a audio surround sound amplifier, and it has years ago it was the Dolby Pro Logic. And I have plugged this in, and it is it is working. I got it for £8. Now I think I should be able to sell this for about 40 to 50. So I did have a little look on eBay. And I was like, I didn't have the exact model, but they have very similar ones to it. I'll say, and some of them were going up to 60 quid. It's quite heavy. It's going to cost a lot to post, but I think it's still worth picking up. So once I've sold it, I'll then know what I think and whether I would pick up any more. It's a little bit of a chance. I don't normally just pick up amplifiers like this, but it was worth a try. Anyway, so that was my first two items. Do you want to go for an item, Jan?
Yeah. Well, I've got 3 categories of things that I'm picking up. I'm picking up things for to go on eBay. I'm picking up things because I want them, and things for my son who's just bought a new house, and it's all the little things that end up costing all the money, isn't it? So I've picked him up a colander.
That's a really nice looking colander
with 2. Well, I quite liked it because it had a red bottom. But having said that, if that all scratches off, it might not look too nice after a while. But it will strain your veggies, won't it?
Yeah, and it's a double. It's good. It's a double strainer, a double handled strainer. They're good because some only have one, don't they? You can get strainers with only one.
Yeah, but it is just a standard old-fashioned colander. So
how much was that?
I got in that I think I paid two quid for, which is quite a lot for a
I was expecting you to say, well, I got it for 10p.
Oh, hang on, I'm on the wrong page here. Where am I? No, I paid 50p for it.
That's more 50p. Like you.
Yeah, I was going to
£2 for a strainer, I don't think so.
No, I've been all the way. I was going to say, why would I pay £2? Because for the last 3 or 4 boot sales, I've been looking for a nice colander, and they keep asking 2 quid for it. That's where it's got stuck in my mind. Anyway, as a colander.
Excellent. Right, I know I've got loads, so sorry, I'm only going to let Jan do one at a time because.
Yeah, although I have to say that when I said to him yesterday, I've got you some more bits, he said, well, don't get me too much because I'm going to buy a load. And it's like, I'm only getting you things off the list of things that you said you wanted me to get you from a boot sale.
Yeah, he might just want to buy his own. You know what he's like.
Oh, yeah, he probably will, but...
Okay, my next thing is... I've actually got it out over there, so I'm not actually going to show you the actual thing.
You can look at the picture.
You can look at the box. This was bought purely for me. It's a PlayStation 4, which I have linked up to the telly, which is my normal games machine that I'm playing. And this is a docking system so that you can put your 2 controllers on and it charges them and it keeps it neat and tidy. Now, I'd like to hear what Jan's opinion is if she thinks it's neat enough to stay out. It is those in the corner there.
It is neat enough, and if it could stand just behind the TV so I don't have to sit here and look at it, it would be quite as bad.
That would be better. However, at the moment with the unit where it is, I can't get round there to get them in and out. But they have a little plug-in. There's a little plug-in that you plug into the bottom of the controller, and then it sits on there to charge. I think I paid maybe £1, maybe £2, but I just thought it would be neater, and it means that you can charge both controllers at once and just leave them sat on a nice little dock. So I picked it up. It was a pickup for me, really.
And the room is still in a what do you call it? A state of flux, isn't it?
Flux.
It's all still. It's like the shifting sands of the Sahara
Flux
Desert at the moment. It
could be called a mess, but flux is also another word.
Well, it's like the Native Americans used to call being ill getting well.
Getting well. Our room is
and our room is at the moment getting well.
It is in a state of getting well. I like that. Now, also, I'll get this one out of the way. Jan normally picks up the cups.
I get the mugs.
Mugs.
More than cups. Do you know the difference between a mug and a cup?
No, I don't really.
These are known as mugs, or in the old days we'd called these a beaker.
A beaker? Why is that a beaker or a mug?
Well,
why isn't it a cup?
A cup is smaller and it has a saucer. A cup is about half the size of a mug.
So mugs don't have saucers.
No,
So
you don't get a mug and a saucer.
So if it's a mug, if it's a drinking vessel and it doesn't have a saucer, that makes it a mug-ish.
Well, unless it's a glass.
Unless it's a glass. I bought a thing to put drink in. You know what we like with the dogs? So mad dog lover, and it looks very much like a Labrador picture as well. The little pictures on there look
they do look quite lavish.
They look very lavish, and
I think I saw that on the way round. I quite liked it.
It's from Otter House Gifts.
It's just a straightforward mug. It's
nothing special. It was just the design of that.
Yeah, it's just.
And
it just spoke to you.
It spoke to me, and I bought it for 20p. So
and you can't moan at that.
You can't moan at that, and I've nice little.
As I've said before, my days of going to home base and buying something like that for £5 are now behind me.
Yeah, and we did actually pay that kind of amount.
Yeah, we did pay a £5 for that one, or even maybe slightly more. But I just think the amount of really nice mugs that you can get at boot sales now. Why would you?
I know, it seems silly, doesn't it? Yeah.
So you got yourself a mug.
I got myself a mug. What are you going for next?
I got a cookie jar.
Now
this little chap, it just looks so lovely.
He is great. Look at him. How can you not? Who could not love that?
Now, not all cookie jars seem to come with a seal around the neck, so I don't know if this would be better described as cookie stroke sweet stroke trinket or whatever, but
yeah.
But I bought it to go on eBay, but I've actually rather fallen in love with it.
Mm.
And when you want somewhere just to throw bits, I think that's what these are really good for.
Just have him as a cookie jar.
I've picked up one at a boot sale before that people kept their coffee pods in.
Yeah, we have cookies. We should have him as a cookie.
Or, do you remember that old TV programme, Bread, where they used to keep all their money in the egg? And I just have visions of this stuffed with nose. Be like a...
Right. I want to use this one as a screenshot. So, there we go. Use them as a screenshot.
Well, if you let go of it and get your hands out of focus, then we can do a head each side.
Do a head each side. Anyway, I'll try and use that as a thumbnail for this one. But I really love him. I think he's great. He looks brilliant.
Like I say, for £1, and that wasn't haggling. That was just what she wanted.
That was just what she wanted.
I was thrilled with that.
Nice one.
So that's me monkey.
Right, now I've got one more piece that I can show before. I've got basically, our boxes that we use. I put all my stuff into 4 boxes.
Yeah.
Now I was walking on it and I saw this on a table. It's an iPad mini. And I thought, I looked at it there and I turned it over. I saw it was the Apple, and then asked how much she wanted for it. she wanted £5. Now, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Now, if I turn that on, you can actually see it does actually turn on. It's set back to factory settings at the moment. I have charged it. It fully charges, and it will go through stuff. It does actually work, so that's really nice. I thought, however, it would be worth a lot more, but I'm actually quite disappointed.
This is first generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have a SIM thing. It only works on Wi-Fi, but...
Yeah, which is not a problem. But the trouble is, this is a first generation one, and they were actually in 2012, which is 10 years ago now. So it still looks in brilliant condition. The trouble is, you can no longer update it and get the updated apps. So these are selling for between 20 to 30 quid on eBay. So I'm still going to make a profit, and it will still do someone a good job of being a tablet and whatever. But I was thinking
they are good because it's just sort of hand size, isn't it? Because I must admit that I was welded to my iPad, the bigger one.
Yeah, until you got your...
Until I got the bigger
phone,
size.
yeah.
You know, when we went from I think it was the iPhone 4 or something up to this sort of size. And since then, I don't even know where my iPad is, and I haven't used it for years.
No. But
when you compare that to a phone, you know, there's not a lot of difference in size, really. They both fit in your hand.
I mean, it's the trouble is, it's the apps. It's needing the apps to.
Yeah, you do need it to.
You've got to run the apps that you want. So it's looking for the Wi-Fi. It's going.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seems to be working all right.
It
wants to do the whole setup program.
Yeah, which obviously I'm not going to bother going through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I paid a £5.
Really
It's still, I do. I'm really disappointed that it's not worth a lot more than 20 or 30 quid, which is such a shame. But it was still a nice pickup. So worth knowing that, you know, if you do see a iPad that's for sale at a boot sale, if they're asking, you know, if they had said 20 quid, I probably would have picked it up.
We had a debate in the car on the way home, because I said, does it use the lightning charger or the older inch wide one?
Yeah.
And you said they didn't do the iPad minis when they had the old
when they had the old chargers.
This one does actually have the lightning one, but did they ever?
What, if that's first generation? No.
If you know, comment below.
Well, if that's the first generation one,
then you were right.
Then
and that doesn't often happen, does it?
No.
Well done.
Well done, me. Come on, high five. Recognise my rightness for once. I
did. I did it
alive on camera, but make more
for
of
all
it.
the world to see that occasionally,
it's so
very,
rare.
very, very rarely,
you have to celebrate these wins. Celebrate the wins. Anyway, so that was that one. I better keep going on to my mine. I think I've got loads of them left.
Yeah, you've got a ton of it left. And
okay, so this is quite a boring one. So I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, don't get it out of the box. Just hold the box up and show it.
Basically, in there we've got an Xbox 360. So it's an Xbox 360. There's two controllers. Like, here's one of the controllers there. It's not too bad a condition, but the back is going to need some work. It could be used for spares and repairs for making some of the others work. I don't know if that Xbox works. And there's also, as a separate thing, that Xbox didn't come with the power pack, but it has actually got. I did pick another power pack up, but this is actually, I believe that's for an Xbox One power pack, rather than it's not the 360 one. But again, it's a case of I picked this stuff up for a £5, and I'm going to put them all together and make ones out of it. So that'll be the thing with that. But yeah, I picked it up for a £5. I couldn't kind of miss it for a £5. I'm sure there'll be stuff that I can use that's worth having within that. So that's that one. I now need to get this one out of the way. And then what have we got in the next box? Okay, yeah, there's some different bits. Now I've picked up some of the of the boppets recently. Haven't got around to listing them yet. They're part of my death pile. But what I did see this week was one of these, which is the Simon. Simon Says, it's a Simon Air. So I think you have to. I don't know. I've never done it yet. Picked it up for £1. I think these are still selling for about 12. I think so. I've got to have a look. It's in nice condition. A little bit of a wipe over and list. Just check it works.
Is it battery operated?
It's battery operated, and it has a little voice thing. I think so. It'd be worth giving a go.
Oh, you've got to unscrew the battery compartment.
Oh right. Actually, I haven't even checked if it turns on. It might actually just turn on. Oh, it's for one person. Oh.
Well, it seems to be doing something. Well, blue
put it on the floor. Put it on the...
Well, it's got... I don't know what those buttons
They're different people.
Oh.
Yeah, so... That was...
What do you do to it?
Well, when it's got a light, then you tap it. No, wait for it to have a light on. Right.
Ooh.
Right, so...
Life's too short. Remove it.
But it works.
Yeah, it works. So for £1, that's
For £1, it's going to be annoying.
for somebody, not for us.
I don't know how to turn it off now, though.
Well, the off button. If you hold the off button, normally that would work.
Maybe that's the problem. It just doesn't turn off. Anyway, we'll leave that alone somewhere. It's going to probably make noises. But it works. So that's cool. I didn't even know that it worked. Next thing picked up is some Carrymore... oh, it's making more noises again. Some Carrymore Goretex boots. These are size 11s. I paid £3 for these. They're going to need a little bit of... I mean, they're not bad. I mean, the soles are pretty good. I think it just needs a bit of a wipe over and just make it look a bit more for... you know, it's got some debobbling on there, needs darkening and stuff like that. But yeah, for Carrymore boots for £3, I think that's probably quite a good pickup. I would imagine as Goretex ones, they're probably looking around the £100 to buy, if not even more.
Have you put the puppies in the hall, or is she in her kennel?
She's in her kennel.
Okay,
and,
they're not
no,
unsupervised
they're not
together
unsupervised.
then.
Then picked up a couple of cameras. We've got a little Kodak. This is the Advantex. This is the Advantex one. They're not going to be great money in these, but I think I picked them up for, I think it was £2. So it might sell for 6 or 8, something like that. There's a battery in that one. But it does, for one of these cameras, it does look quite, oh, that's quite smart. Oh, I like that. You do the little thing and it just like pops up. So there's one of those. It's the same. This is a different model. So that was this was the Advantex
F350.
F350.
And the F300.
And this is the F300.
So I don't know if that one is.
So
that one's slightly smaller.
Yeah, slightly smaller, a bit more compact, isn't it? I actually this one. Interestingly, the flash pops up on this one, but on this one it doesn't. So I don't know which one would be considered the better film.
That again is the drop-in film.
And that's the Advantex film. Advantex is that film. So, but yeah, it's the film where if you don't know about Advantex, it's on the top. You'll see you can have it'll do a panoramic option or the normal kind of option or a square option. So you can have the 3 types of film within the film camera. Look, there you go. You've got it just there, Jim.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyway, I mean, £4 for the 2. There's probably I don't think it's going to be a big profit on those ones, but there should still be a profit on them, and I have sold some, so it's not like I've never sold any of those, so that's kind of good. How many more bits have you got, Jen?
I've only got 3. I hardly bought anything this week.
Okay, well, do you want to go for another one of yours? Can't let the people just get bored of my voice all the time. I'm going to do yours.
I was looking all the way around the boot sale and then came to, in the last aisle I went to, a bathroom scale. And actually found, it was an EKS one, I think.
Right.
Which was kind of what I was looking for, but not quite.
Yeah.
And I thought, And then saw this one about a foot away from it on the same stall. So £1.50. I thought, well, I mean, they're not that expensive to buy, but like I say, when you move into a new house, it's all these little bits and pieces that actually add up to a huge amount of money.
They're not cheap, are they?
I think they're about £15.
Yeah, but when you're adding up those £15, so
well, this is it.
It's a lot of £15, isn't it?
All the little bits and pieces, your cheese grater, your colander, your bathroom scales, that if you haven't brought them from your old house, and when relationships go south and a lot of stuff like that gets left behind, you don't leave your partner and take a cheese grater with you, do you?
Well, unless it's that very special. I mean, I don't know.
Unless it's family heirloom, but it's all those little bits that.
Well, that's cool.
So I'm just picking up a couple of bits and pieces. That's all.
Oh, this one only had one bit in it. Right, this one. Oh, that's the box with all the rest of the stuff in. So, I was just looking at a box. There was a pair of flippers on top of this cardboard box, and what looked like a load of marine stuff. Nautical stuff.
Not naughty.
And at the bottom was this, and I just saw Garmin, and it's like, Garmin makes sat navs. So I turned it over, and we have this GPS unit. It is actually let's see if I can show it. It is the Garmin GPS 128 flash. Is what that is.
Careful,
sorry. You're just about to see that. Now, I've had a look on eBay, and I couldn't actually see one on sale in the UK. However, there is one currently on sale in America.
So would that just tell you where you are, or would it show you like shipping lanes? Like roads, like the road one does?
I don't actually know.
Who would it say if you're going too fast?
I don't. No, it probably doesn't give the speed limits. I wouldn't have thought it's like.
Is there a speed limit at sea? I know there is on rivers. But...
I don't know rivers. Yeah, no, but I don't know.
Because people have speedboats, don't they?
Near beaches there is. There is near beaches, so within a certain distance of the beach there are limits.
Is that in every country or just ours?
No, I don't know, and it's different places. But
drop a comment below.
Drop a comment down below if you know. However, I picked this up for £1. Now I haven't tested it. It's got the wires and stuff. It's not a case of plugging it in. I've got to find a power pack to test it with.
And a boat.
I don't need the boat. Well, also there would have been.
He can put it in his canoe.
Put it in my canoe. There is an antenna.
Well, I use a sat nav on my mobility scooter.
I think the antenna was in the box and I didn't notice it. I didn't realise.
Well, you must have noticed it because you said afterwards that there was an antenna in the box.
I didn't realise it needed it. However, anyway, in
but
America,
the person who sold it to you is naughty because they should have said.
Well, no, it was the wife selling the husband's stuff.
Oh right, but even so.
So even so, I got it for £1, and in America, there's one of these for sale for equivalent to 180 quid. So there is a chance for a reasonable kind of profit. It's something different.
A possibility.
I'll say it's different. It's still a sat nav, isn't it? I mean, I do sat navs, but it's like boat stuff. So interesting. So we'll see what happens on that. I'm kind of interested, and for £1, it obviously could be. You know, even if I could get anywhere around the 100 from £1 would be pretty damn amazing. I think.
You got much more?
I've got this box, and I think there's quite a lot in it. Oh no, it might not be quite a lot in it. It might just be a couple of bits. So now I do remember that this next item was from the second boot sale at Poynings. A tie rack.
Tie holder.
A tie holder from tie rack. Is actually a tie rack.
A
tie rack. I paid £1.
You was robbed.
I was robbed, was I?
I normally pay 50p.
Jan pays 50p. And how much do you reckon they sell for?
A tie rack one should go for around 10.
So I'm still happy at paying £1, and if I can sell it for 10, it's a profit.
But it might take you a while. But the beauty of it, it's not going to take up a lot of space.
No.
While you're waiting for it to go.
Right, then have some cameras. Picked up this. This is going to need a bit of a clean. This is a Fuji, and it's an FZ 2000 zoom date is what it's called. It says on the top. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be. Well, I was trying to be knowledgeable, but I was cheating. I was literally just reading it off the top here. But yeah, it's a film camera. It's quite
typical
a big
mid-80s compact.
Yeah, but it's quite a big chunky. I haven't looked these up. I'm hoping they're at least 30 quid. There's a good chance of that. So the next one, what did we get next? Next one, there's this little one. Now this one,
it's a Diddy, isn't it?
I think I got it for 50p.
Is it broken?
Yeah,
the lens cover.
The lens cover. So the lens cover isn't flipping back.
Right.
Which is a shame.
Nikon Coolpix.
Yeah. So this is the Nikon E4 600. If I can get it working, that would be nice. However, why did I pick it up for £1 if it might not work? Because
it had the case.
It's got the lower pro case. And the lower pro case
I just picked one of those up, was it Saturday or last week or something?
That's going to sell for about £5 just by itself, just the case, if I were to sell it separately. So it was worth picking up. You know, it's not always about the camera, sometimes it is about the case.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was that one. That's quite nice.
Yeah, where you're leaning on the table, you're wobbling my joinery bits together. So sorry about the rattling noise.
I did also pick up a Garmin sat nav, still boxed. Everything is kind of main thing I'm checking on the sat navs is the rubber for sticking on the screen. It's a real pain in the arse when you get a really nice sat nav, but you've got nothing to stick it to the screen with.
Yeah.
You can get away with not having cables and all that kind of stuff, but if you haven't got a stacker to stick it on the screen... And it's got a nice little
case with it.
And it's got a nice little case. I think that was about £2, 3 quid, I think. Again, that would be worth picking up. And the fact that it's in the box as well will help it sell that little bit more. People always like stuff, you know, if you can get something in a nice box, it'll sell better in the pictures. So that's...
I've always kept my sat navs in a makeup bag with the plug-in charger, kind of wound up and put in there. And actually had my car broken in 2 years ago. And somebody had gone through the glove compartment, picked up the makeup bag, thought it was makeup in there because they felt the roundness of the charger, presumably, and just slung it back in the car because it was a really good sat nav. It's the only thing worth taking in the whole car, and they chucked it back. Oh, we've not got a good class of criminal around here.
No, they're not clever enough to work that one out. So,
Well, actually, thinking when I say our class of criminal are really, really bad. Years and years ago, I used to buy and sell a lot of jewellery.
yeah, diamonds.
And I had just taken a whole load of my stuff to have it valued. And when they value it at the jewellers, it came back with a photograph and the price of what it was worth.
Yeah.
And I hadn't put it in the safe yet, left it all out on the side. So I had this jewellery with the prices and the photos saying what it's worth. And we were burgled and they didn't touch it.
It was sat on the coffee table, and they bothered to take...
There was, I used to have a large bowl that we just used to throw loose change in that had probably about 5 or 6 quid in it. He tipped out all the money.
Yeah. But
in tipping out the money, he left some really good fingerprints on the bowl, and they did catch him, and he went to jail for 4 years. But it was the fact that you've got all this valued jewellery there that says what it is.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so next one, another camera. This is in a Nikon case, but it isn't actually a Nikon.
But the Nikon case again might be worth something. Is that another Fuji?
This is another Fuji. This is the Fuji DL 312 zoom. So the fact that it's a zoom,
I would say that one's slightly newer than the last Fuji because it's just coming down in size.
Yeah, as you see that this was really chunky and this one isn't as chunky.
Probably does pretty much the same thing, but it's reducing in size.
But again, it's still film cameras. I think this one's got a film in it by the looks of it.
You can see the film there.
So, this is one of those drop-in ones.
Yeah.
So, this is one.
And again, the back doesn't open very far, so you know that the other one wasn't broken. That's the design.
That is.
It's actually got a catch there to stop it going too far.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so it can come open more.
I wouldn't break it.
I'm not going to break it. Just try. Anyway, nice little camera. Couple of quid again. I like to pick those cameras up all day. You think about, if I could just go to somewhere where I could just keep buying these all day for a couple of quid, who wouldn't? I mean, that's probably anywhere between 20 to 60 quid. So yeah, really happy with that. Now, there's one. Pick this up. This is a there we go. Put it on there. You can
what does
see
it say on the back?
It is.
This
is the front. It says ikea. It's an ikea Plus, and apparently you've got there's quite a good lot of electronics on there, really. So on the back of it, you put a USB drive in there, and obviously you need to put a power bit in there. I don't think this is battery driven at all. You've got the on off, but what it does is, I think these are to do with different formats for recording music, and so I've never actually seen one of these before. But I did look it up last night, and one of these has sold for 39 quid. And I think I paid £1 for it. Mm-hmm. So it was one of those, I'll take a chance. It's something that I'm going to learn more about.
Yeah. How
it works and what it does. And, but yeah, if that sells for 39 quid, or anywhere that way, if it sells for 25, I'd be well happy from £1. So...
you so slouchy? I just
it's because you're sat right.
I'm sat neatly.
You're sat at the edge.
I'm sitting like Chester, and you're sitting like Echo.
I can't really sit. If I'm sitting here, and my table is too close for me to be here. I've got to be sat back here more. So you're just sat rather prim and proper like a Chester, and I'm just a slouch today. I'm
I
just
just suddenly thought, how come I'm inches taller than
because
you?
you're sat upright, right on the edge, and I need the table to go back further.
I've got
and
better posture
you're
today,
better posture.
not normally.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's another one that I bought. I think this is the second to last item. It was sold like this. The guy, I actually haven't tested it, but when I'm buying it,
he's taken
photos of the light working. So this is a Newmark. Newmark. So this is a Newmark mixer. So for music mixing. Yeah, it's the what was it? So
it's got all of its knobs.
It's the
and things.
DM.
No, there's a thing missing on that slider.
There's one missing on the slider. So apart from the one missing on the slider, everything else looks pretty good.
The missing one won't affect the function at all.
No, I mean that's where you'll mix it for you can still use it like that. So this
I was just looking to see if it had it on the photo, but
yeah, no, I don't think so. It was missing. I actually saw this last week. He was asking 20 quid for it. I said, "Oh, I see it didn't go last week." He said, "Yeah, I'm doing it for 10 quid this week." I said, "Yeah, right 10 then. Quid. I'll do it." Saying that, these are the other week I picked up another mixing desk, but that was I forget the brand of it now. It was a much better brand.
Yeah. And the name was gone.
But anyway, this one actually only sells currently, because the other one sells anywhere between £200 to £300. This one is
new?
No, second hand. This one second hand sells for about 35 to 40 quid. So it's not as amazing, but still 10 quid into 30 or 40 quid is still reasonable enough, I think. But yeah, so there was that one. And have you still got any items? You have. You've got
yes,
one more. Do you want to do your items?
I picked up another of these sugar bowls. I've now got a collection of them, but I thought, well, I don't know if Tony will want a sugar bowl like I've got or not. Probably not, but I thought, well, anyway.
Well, how much was it?
Oh, 50p.
50p? Well, for 50p you can...
You know, the thing is, if you do want one, you can't buy them in the shops anymore. Well, not the shops that I've found anyway. So it's only pressed glass. It's not... I mean, they weren't wildly expensive years ago, but I've yet to find a sugar bowl that looks better.
Well, they just are sugar bowls, aren't they? I mean,
yeah, what does everybody else use? Because when we went through the period of time where one like this had broken and I couldn't find another one, we just had a white bowl in with the sugar, and it just didn't look. It never looked right. I always hated it.
But it wasn't a sugar bowl. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that is my point. It just wasn't a sugar bowl. So
yeah,
I always it was just a bowl with sugar in, and it just annoyed me. So
it's different.
We've now got enough to see me out, and enough to leave one to my son and my daughter and my grandson. When I die, they can each have a proper sugar bowl.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
right,
so 50p on that one.
I know you've got one last item.
I have.
I'm gonna.
And have you got one last?
I'm gonna do my one last item now.
Both? Oh, you're doing your very last item.
I'll do the very last, and you can be last. You can do
right.
not to put you last, but so that you are the
finale. I'll be the grand finale.
Yes,
I know, between the fat ladies done her right.
Because I'm not sure that mine is a finale item. It's something different.
We've been talking about diversifying and looking into different things that we don't normally buy.
Yeah. The saying that, partially something that I'm looking at is possibly looking at doing jeans. Pairs of denim jeans I might look at, but I saw some at the boot sale and I was umming and ahhing whether to get them. There were 3 pairs of Levi's. They were after £5 each, and one pair was 501s. The other numbers I don't know. I don't recognise the numbers, and I think I decided that yes, I would possibly like to try and do some clothing of some kind. But I didn't know enough about it, so that's put onto the.
I was going to say, back when I were a lad, the only Levi's were 501.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely, but there were these other.
Yeah, I know
numbers,
they've done different designs since.
yeah,
But what I'm saying is,
the
when I was a
unused
teenager, that they were either Levi's or they weren't.
Yeah.
That I remember certainly being sold in the shops that people were buying that I know of.
So anyway, I'm going to do a lot more research before I start doing that, I think. And there may be some other items. I mean, it's worth looking into different areas, but obviously you've got to put the work in and work out. See, I have no idea if the pair of Levi's, you know, they were slightly worn at the bottom, does that make a difference? It's a case of how much will they sell for to know, is it still, what's the price point worth buying at? £5 could have been too much. £2 could have been great. £5, it might have been £10 was great. It just depends, what are they going to sell for? So, I don't know. So anyway, moving
I
on.
was just seeing if I could slouch as low as you. I don't
Can
know
you
how
slouch
you do it.
Try it.
You must have a
Try
really
it.
bent,
Get down low.
curved spine to
Put
do
your head on the table. Put your head on the...
Anyway, this is what you came up
This
with.
is what we came up with
Diversification.
for diversification. You're right, it's a machine gun. No, it's a violin.
Or at least a violin case.
I'm going to sit up for this one, otherwise I can't see it properly.
Okay, if I sit back, do you want to put it on laps?
All right, put it on.
Can
That's a
open
better.
it and
That's
do
a
it
better.
from there.
So first bit, the top of the bag has a bag. Is the bow. So it comes with a bow. Now saying that,
so that opens up like that.
I was watching films last night to learn about this, and the hairs.
Is that still horsehair?
I believe it is.
I know they used to call strings on things catgut, but I don't. Or is that guitar strings that I'm thinking of? But
I don't know. Well, whatever it is,
I wondered if they'd come up with some sort of synthetic alternative to horsehair.
I did trim it. It looks nice. It had loads of random hairs everywhere at the top and bottom.
Out of the,
and I learned that you just trim them off so it looks neater, so it doesn't get on the bow. I also learned that you've got that's quite it's not taut, and that you when you play it, you tighten it up you tighten it up here, and then after playing you slacken it off again.
Neither of us have played violin or had violin lessons or anything. We know nothing.
Nothing about it. It's just we keep seeing them.
Over to YouTube to
I mean, they do pop up regularly at boot sales, and it's a case of because there's no point of getting into the idea of buying or selling something if you don't see them. But they literally, I mean, there was
a lot of them
three.
Up.
I saw 3 of them at the boot sale.
I actually saw one at the second boot sale. Case the same as this one, and she was. Did you say yet what you paid for it?
No, I paid 15 for it.
Yeah, because my lady wanted 20. Because she said that she'd paid 25 for it, but I don't know if she paid 25 brand new or second hand. And I know that they come in quarter size, half size, 3/4 size, and 4/4.
I mean, this one it's a little bit grubby. It's a little bit grubby there. It just needs a little, and it's got some tape
anything
on.
To do with children have icky, sticky stuff.
The tape would have been for learning, but it still wants to come off for selling and cleaning up a little bit. Now inside, I can actually see that there's a label inside, and there's all kinds of things that I didn't know. So that's a
resin
pot
there.
of the resin. There's actually a little piece of resin that actually I think it might have cracked or something yesterday. And what I didn't know until watching the film, here's the little resiny stuff, and that if you don't put resin on these,
and that's the resin in the.
I think it's a bit drier and the block's cracked a bit, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But this resin, if you don't, you're supposed to rub it up and down about 10 times before playing. Because if you don't actually do that, it doesn't make the strings vibrate. Because obviously, the first time
I suppose it's like when you run your finger around the top of a wine glass, you need a little bit of friction
stick
there. So perhaps the.
Now this is going to sound appalling because I don't play, but I'm going to play some. But it should. Without the resin on, when I first tried that yesterday, just making the noise, just to see if it made the noise.
Annoyed.
I've never played. I don't think I've even picked one of these up at school. So
no, I never did. My sister played violin at school, but we used to make her rehearse in the garage.
But literally, without putting the resin on, it doesn't make a noise at all. But when you it works. Anyway, so it makes a noise. But as I was saying, inside I can just about see it says that it is
the manufacturer's name.
Yeah,
Is it a Stradivarius?
Fender.
Let's have a look.
In there.
Yeah.
Fender student, I think it says.
The Stentor student.
Oh, Stentor.
It was
Stentor,
student.
The Stentor.
Stentor Music Co Limited, England. Yeah, so it's well, you can see by the size of it, it's a student size.
Now, what?
But like I say, I know they come in quarter size, half size, 3/4 size, and full size.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know, because that does seem very, very small. We need to do some research on.
Definitely going to. Now, the other thing is that I didn't realise that down this end you're supposed to have. When you're actually tuning one, you have the tuning pegs here, and you're supposed to push the pegs in a little bit as you twist them. And that's for doing large tuning amounts. But you actually got, there's supposed to be a tuner on each one of these, which only seems to have the one. See, look, it's only just got the one there. So it's supposed to have one on all four. And that's supposed to...
So is it that they've just lost them?
It could be. That's supposed to be for fine adjustment. Don't know what that one is.
There's also some sort of rivet there.
Oh, no, that rivet there, I think, is because of the handle.
Oh, right, okay.
In looking at the handle, wherever the handle's there.
Oh, right,
the handle's...
the handle's been repaired,
It's been repaired badly. And
yeah.
I'll need to get some bolts on there just to repair that. But I think it's a learning piece for me. I say, because there are quite a lot of things. So this little tuner here, I've got a feeling I can probably pick up another 3 of those. I don't think they're going to be that expensive. I was looking online last night, and the strings, I think you can get a full set of strings for about 2 or 3 quid. So again, if you're looking at actually buying these to resell them, it's worth knowing that the strings can be got really quite cheaply to replace if they haven't got all the strings. The bridges, here's the bridge here. If these are missing, they can also be they can be got quite cheaply. These are actually put in as you tune the as you put the strings in. You actually put that in place. These actually move. That's just held by the strings. So the bridges can be replaced quite cheaply. I think they're about 4 quid for a bridge. The thing that isn't replaced apparently is you have a support that is between the upper and lower part inside. And if they come out, apparently they have to be put in properly by professionally. So if they don't have, I can see basically all I can see in here. You won't be able to see it from there. it's like a wooden peg. But if that's missing and that becomes flexible in between that, then that's going to need professionally repairing, on my understanding. So it's interesting.
That one looks as though it's had a little bit of abuse. You know, there's some places just on the corners there where
you just see that with a little bit of wear there, and there's a little bit of wear on that side as well. I was wondering, there's a little chip down here. I was wondering whether it would be worth
to go out, and he never asks unless it's urgent.
I was wondering whether it would actually be worth getting a little bit of varnish or whatever to.
Yeah, I've got some yacht varnish somewhere.
Well, I don't know if it would need to be varnish, but a yacht varnish or basically.
Or even nail varnish. Get some clear nail varnish and do it.
Well, I was actually thinking of going to
or you could just
sell
it as used.
Well,
and just point out where, you know, because if I was buying a violin for a child and it was the right price, I wouldn't worry about a tiny little bit of damage that isn't going to make any difference whatsoever to the playing.
Alternatively, if I was considering actually buying these, I might actually try and find out how much the actual varnish is that they use, so I have a pot of it for doing little repairs.
Cheapest thing is a little pot of see-through nail varnish, and that would do exactly the same thing as any varnish that
unless you were trying to match the colour of it to the colour of what's already there.
Right. Well,
so that's why I would.
Back in its case?
Yeah. But anyway, it's an experiment. It's something to learn.
And you know, the kids do coming up.
Well, as you say, I would imagine. You know, September.
Are you sure that the bow does go in?
Yes, because it does actually fit.
It doesn't feel as though it's the right size. It feels like it's too long for this case.
It does actually just about fit it because I had it in there yesterday.
You know, even going in at an angle.
And yet it just about works.
I'm wondering if it's a family with two violins of different sizes and the bow got muddled.
I have no idea. But anyway, I mean, the thing is, it's a new thing to try and look at and learn. It might be. Thing is, might get a few of them and find out actually it's too much hassle or there's not enough profit. But we keep seeing them.
You've got a little name taggy thing for there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little girl I say a little girl, she's in secondary school, but this girl walks past with one of these in the mornings.
Yeah, but it's one of those things of we've got to learn, is it worth doing, is it not? We see them regularly.
In some ways, I wish that I'd picked up the one that I saw that she wanted 20 quid for, but and then we would have a comparison one, and it might have been a different size even.
Yeah.
But I didn't, because I thought, I don't know what they sell for brand new, I don't know what they sell for second hand, I don't know what the demand is for them, but I'll let you do the first stage learning.
We'll do the first stage learning.
And then if you become a millionaire, I might copy.
I'm not going to become a millionaire from it. Definitely not from just doing violins. Not from.
Okay, can you let?
The only way we're going to do that is if we bizarrely enough came across one of those rare ones. The what are they called?
Stradivarius.
Stradivarius. Yeah, if we come across a Stradivarius at a boot sale and pick it up, it's the only way we're going to become millionaires.
He wouldn't have a label on it saying no good looking inside for the Stradivarius to make us label.
Well, wouldn't it?
No.
Are you sure? However,
and you'd need an armed guard to carry it.
What I do actually know is because I watched a film last night of somebody in a shop where they had a Stradivarius. Mm-hmm.
And he went in and had a go.
And he went in and had a go, but they were actually showing the difference in sound between
the
different
Strad and the other.
And they had 4 different ones of different values, and showing the different sound qualities to what you're listening to. Mm-hmm. And they showed how ornate the neck is and the tuning bit and whatever. It was interesting. Anyway, you have your last item.
Yeah, my last one. Well, Saturday I rejected a piece of Ladro. She wanted 10 for it. And I thought, there's just no money in that. It was a girl with a goose. When I got home, I looked up the solds for that one and it only sells for 15.
Right.
So I think it was a wise decision to let it go. And she said, when I offered her less than 10, she said, no, I know I'll get 10 for it.
Yeah.
So good luck to her. Then later on, I can't remember which boot sale it was now, either Saturday or the first one we went to on Sunday, I found another in the Valencia style, you know, the muted colours, and it was a clown with a saxophone. And I didn't. It wasn't. Yeah, if you go and deal with Echo.
Echo is just whining at the minute. I'll let her out. Jan can continue whilst
I wasn't familiar with the maker, only that it was one of the Valencia makers, and I didn't pick that one up. And unfortunately, I didn't even ask the price of it. If they'd have let that one go for £1 or £2, that one could have been a good purchase. But the clown ones don't do it for me. But then yesterday, right up to the end of the boot sale, I walked past a Ladro goose.
Nice. That's a very nice Ladro goose.
Actually marked Neo by Ladro on the bottom. I don't know if you can actually read that. And I know that these will sell typically sort of anywhere between 10 and 15. And they only wanted £2 for it.
Nice.
So I thought, well, that'll do for me. And I just like to have pieces sat on, well, we haven't got anywhere to, we're in so much of a mess at the moment, but when I'm not in a mess, then I'll list it and then put it out as an ornament for us.
Yes.
But when I said to them, how much is your goose? And the husband said, what? I thought it was a swan. And the lady was saying it was an 18th birthday present, which made me feel quite sad actually, because somebody's obviously given it to her thinking it was an investment piece, because back in the day Ladro was very expensive, and thinking that that's only going to go up in value. Yeah. But as with all things, they go up and they go down, and right at the moment Ladro just isn't hitting the mark. But that's not to say it won't come back given the fullness of time.
No, absolutely.
So if you're collecting or picking up pieces, you know, they may at some point become valuable again in the future. Because the thing is, with all these pottery houses, they do these in limited runs. Yeah. And when the run's finished, then the moulds will be smashed. Yep. So they're
a limited number.
Or if they are remade afterwards, then they do it when you do a latex mould. So the newer ones will be very slightly different sized to the old ones. But, you know, it could be that the original run will one day be worth some money. Sorry, I've got a puppy under the table to say hello. But anyway, I just like the Ladro. I like the muted colour of the Valencia style. And if you can get the genuine Ladro, people like that better than the... What are the other ones that I've got? Miguel at Queen has come to mind. Casadas. Right. I probably pronounced that wrong, but you know, there are lots, and I think there's about 10 of the smaller pottery makers that make in a very, very similar style to Ladro. And I have read somewhere that a lot of these smaller ones are the sculptors and artists that actually work for Ladro, making their own things. Right. And then some of them even get fired at the Ladro kilns. Right. But then sold under a completely separate name as being not quite as good as Ladro. But
yeah, that's really good. So you paid £2, but
£2.
What do you think that would be worth?
Well, like I say, that will sell anywhere between 10 and 15.
It's going to be worth picking up.
Probably around about 12. I mean, there's probably a £10 profit in there. Yeah. It's not going to. No, it's not going to make enough money to retire on.
No.
Echo, did you know she could get her head through those bars?
I did. Anyway, so that is a haul for today, I think.
Well, for yesterday.
Yeah. So,
and
what else you got?
I've got to say hello to Hazel. Lovely talking to you, Hazel. Saw you at Shoreham Flyover.
Cool. Excellent.
And you bumped into a few people as well.
Yeah,
a few of
I'm
our
really
subscribers.
bad at. There was actually there was two. There was a couple that we see that that were selling, and there was another couple that watch us, and they were both at the same place. They were both, two
Yeah,
of them
and
were
there
looking
was,
to buy from the guys that we see. So
somebody at the Faygate one was selling and said hello, and I didn't ask your name. I'm sorry, that was rude of me, but hi.
yeah,
You're watching-
hi everybody that
you're watching
watches
again.
that's actually seen us. So it's great to see you out on
And
the
I chat
field.
to
And
somebody every week, a chap who repairs bicycles, and again, I can't remember your name. I am so sorry. Names are
really bad at
on
names,
my
both
bad
of us.
point.
So,
But anyway, hello. Lovely chatting to you all again.
and anyone who is watching this now and hasn't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel. So we love to get any comments from you guys about some of the stuff that we've picked up. If you know anything about the stuff we've picked up and want to add anything about it, we appreciate it. We're still learning.
Neil was just talking to our neighbours the other day on the way in from the boot sale, and saying that we have a YouTube channel, and they're thinking of doing one themselves.
Yeah, they're possibly thinking about doing cooking.
Cajun cookery.
Yeah.
So if they do, then we'll link you up to that, because I think that
definitely.
could be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're lovely people, aren't they?
But we'll see. We'll see if they
If they do.
If they decide to, then we'll do
And
a
also,
collaboration.
sometimes Ivy and Tony next door watch us. So
Yeah.
hello, Ivy.
Yeah,
and Tony.
hi Ivy and Tony.
Come and knock on the door and have a cup of tea.
And hello to the Tuesday Zoom group, which is nothing to
anybody
do with
watching
this.
from my... Yeah, that's my coffee morning, my ladies' coffee morning that I do on a Tuesday. So.
And they're always asking about how's the boot sales going and all that kind of thing. And it's a case of, watch the films and you'll know.
Like and subscribe, Mum.
Yes.
Mother, like and
subscribe.
Hi, Sue.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so
that's us for today.
See you guys later. Catch you on the next one.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.